this session, we are going to go through or to have a look at health advocacy, work in a pillar, what it is it important, what are the challenges that are involved in health advocacy. Health advocacy is a direct service to the individual or to the pillar, as well as the activities that promote health and access to the health care in the community. When we talk about health, we mean the well-being of an individual, socially, physically, and mentally. At the same time, you can also define health advocacy as a set of skills that are used to create a shift in public opinion and mobilize the necessary resources and forces to support an issue that is important to the matters of health, a policy, or a constituency on health matters. As a health advocate, there are several roles that we expect from you, but all these roles, they are majorly, or we can majorly classify them into three perspectives. The first perspective is that when you're a health advocate, we expect you to contribute your expertise and influence to the pillar or to the communities at that place where you are on matters regarding to health. Then the second one, you are required to determine and understand the needs of health of that community, the needs of health of that pillar, and the needs of health of all the people in that community. And you can only do that if you're a healthy advocate. The other perspective is mobilization of resources that we expected of you to play as an healthy advocate. Is health advocacy important? If it is, why? Yes, it is, because of the following three reasons. The first reason is that policy and advocacy happens all the time. Much of our lives, we are advocating for issues. We are fighting for the rights of others. We are putting forward issues for others, and for ourselves, and for our communities. So it happens all the time in all communities and at all levels and in all institutions. Effective and efficient healthcare delivery is also another reason why we should have health advocacy. Because if you don't have a healthcare delivery which is effective and efficient, then it would mean that your well-being is compromised and then you are not productive, especially on our side as farmers. The third one is that you need to promote health and livelihoods of individuals and communities, and that one can only be done through health advocacy. Without health advocacy, it becomes very, very difficult to promote that. There are levels of engagement. The first one is interpersonal, between a person and a person. And then there is organization, where you have so many individuals working together in different departments and then coming together with the same goal, or like in our case, Good Leisure Farm. Then the third one is a health system. The health system here we mean things like where there's a clinic, things like you have like the police, like a police post, where, for example, if you are having a problem, you have been given wrong veterinary drugs, wrong seeds, fake seeds for planting, you can go and report. It's part of the health system. Then the churches, they are part of the health system. All the things are very, very important. Then the policy, these are the guidelines or rules that are on health care that are very, very important. Like one of the health policies I can mention is access to free public health care services, where you go to government health facilities and you get care when you're sick. Or in our case, of Good Leisure Farm, where we are having the health facilities, and also soon going to be engaging in community-based health insurance for our beneficiaries in our pillars. So, what exactly is in health advocacy? As a health advocate, there's a content that you must be having if you are going to advocate for health. There are some issues that you must mention on. A number of them. The first one, access to health care. A health facility may be in place, but even you reach there, but you can't get the services. So that ability to get the services from a health facility is what we are calling health access. So as an advocate, when you are advocating for health issues, think of access to those health issues that you are advocating for. Then there are barriers. Barriers are those obstructions and impediments that prevent us from getting what we should have got in terms of health. For example, a pregnant mother is engaged, is in labor, or even a child has got high-grade fever, and then there's no transport to take the pregnant mother or that child who is convulsing from home to a health facility, from your farm to the health facility. Such barriers of transport can be issues. And you can mention other barriers depending on the health matter that you are advocating for. Then we have competing needs. This is whereby you find a community like a pillar has a lot of needs. You have a needs for to have a dustbin somewhere. You have a needs of not having enough or sufficient water in the pillar. You have a need of not having a yard to help you there. So all those needs, where you have this one, the way you want them are almost all equal. You feel like you should have them at the same time. That's what we call competing needs. Then the health behavior. You find people are drinking alcohol, people are in prostitution. That's what we do refer to health behavior. Then we have health promotion, like whereby we need to promote like a breastfeeding among mothers, health and nutritional diets for our communities in the pillars. Then there's health literacy, to inform, to educate our communities on matters to do with health, what is good for our people and what is not good for our people. For example, for farmers, we should encourage them to have personal protective equipment. If they are going to the farm, they should have gumboots, especially in cases where, for example, they are going to, for example, to spray. Of course, here we are referring to organic spray. We would love to see our farmer having a mask, but you find a farmer goes to the farm, you want to go and dig, you don't have gumboots, you don't have mask where applicable. That one becomes dangerous. So when we are advocating for health, these are issues that you must go on touching, depending on the topic of discussion. When it comes to policy, you should relate it to what you are discussing and advocating for. Then we have social economics, what people get in terms of money, the outcome. Can you grow enough fruits to benefit your family? Can you grow enough vegetables to benefit your family, nutrition, but at the same time sell a surplus of it to the communities, and then you get money, which money can help you to climb your goal ladder in your life. Then also prevention methods. Please, you can never advocate for health when you don't talk about the preventive strategies on the subject matter under your discussion. Then the risk factor also is very, very important to talk about. When it comes to recognizing the health advocate, then there must be a process that you must do it. And there are a number of ways. As a health advocate, we expect you to advise on matters of health. For example, you can advise people not to smoke. Why? Because smoke has more than 6,000 toxins which can cause cancer and other lung problems and even the entire body. So you advise. That advice that you're giving to the pillar, to the community, is a process of a healthy advocacy. Then you assist. You can also empower, because as you're giving information, you're empowering others. Then you should encourage. you should facilitate. You can facilitate in a number of ways. You can do it monetarily. You can do it through knowledge. You can do by you yourself participating in the activities of health. For example, if in matters of hygiene in a community, you can facilitate, for example, the brooms. You can come and also participate and facilitate by being a leader in matters to do with health. You can also influence. The other thing you can do, you can justify a health matter. For example, we are in the period of COVID-19, and we are talking about frequent hand washing. We are talking about social distancing. We are talking about wearing a mask. In such circumstances, you'll find in the community some individuals, even farmers, saying no to such things. Social distancing for what? Masks for what? We've been around without these things. So, as a health advocate, you must justify why people are putting on masks. Why is it important to do hand washing? Then you must liaise with the different actors within the healthcare system, like the health facilities, like the medics, like the ambulance drivers, so that you are in touch with them. And still in the process, you need to navigate the matters. You need to negotiate. You can negotiate if, for example, at your place in the pillar, you have the care facilities which are far away from where you are. You can negotiate with the district leaders. You can negotiate with the district agents, and they bring the services closer to the pillar. You can also recommend. You find somebody is sick or somebody is not getting good medical services, then you recommend them to seek for medical care. And also, finally, you also need to support. So these are very important processes if you are to have a successful health advocacy. And of course, there are steps you must undertake, and there are several of them. One, you must identify an issue of concern. Is it an issue of hygiene? Is it an issue of nutrition? You must find out and identify it, because without knowing the problem, then you can solve the problem, and knowing the problem is halfway having solved the problem. Then you must gather the information about the issue. You must commit to action to work with yourself and with others. You must collaborate with others, and you must mobilize resources, money, individuals, the human resource, the people themselves, and also information about the subject matter. And of course, you must sustain the efforts, because if you don't sustain the efforts, then it's not advocacy. It is something else. With advocacy, you do it, you repeat it, you repeat it, and you repeat it. And it's very important. And one of the ways you can also do it is by establishing an understanding of the community or the pillars' preferences, needs, strength, and values for healthcare. Know what the community wants. What do they want in terms of healthcare? What is their priority? If you know that. Because if you don't give them what they want and you give them for you what you think they want, then even sustaining it will be a challenge. Then secondly, you need to collaborate with the pillar or community and other healthcare professionals or with the promotion organizations, because when you're working together, you're more powerful and strong. You need to develop the action plan with the community or the pillar and with other health professionals, and also help the community or the pillar to achieve those goals that we have identified. Fourthly, you need to implement the agreed to plan by supporting and following, on occasion leading as appropriate. And finally, you need to maintain an open communication with the community. You don't do something and then you say you sit with it, you keep quiet with it. So how do you put life in health advocacy? How do you make it an action and it does not stay with you? One, you must advocate for health services or resources. When people don't see services in the pillar or resources, there's nothing, there's no advocacy. Also, you need to advocate for healthy behavior. Things like biosecurity at farms to prevent infections from going from one farm to another. And lastly, you need to advocate for the prevention, the promotion, and the surveillance of what would be affecting our farming households. Then, how do you identify groups that will support your advocacy, that will support your position? There are a number of ways, and these ones you already know, but we need to go through them. One, by using the leverage of professional societies. The number of health societies which you can use, the journalist can help you to sell the idea to other people, and then other organizations like UNACO, universities, hospitals, issues like if there's less blood in the area, you can do a campaign, you can advocate for blood to be taken by the blood bank, health insurance issues, disease advocacy organizations like the Uganda Cancer Institute, public health organizations, and foundations. These are places which can help us. Now, there's another issue that you should have and be knowing how to select your target. You must know which one you must take as a priority by knowing the most affected, the directly influencing, and the indirectly influencing. And that one calls for knowing families, peers, partners, leaders, and providers. And when it comes to indirectly influencing, you need the government to help you. You need the churches, which are faith and movement leaders, to be part of that. And when you're identifying the activities for each audience, you must know what language to use for that audience, or what the language they prefer, the media they prefer. Do they prefer radio? Do they prefer television? I mean radio, especially in our setting, I mean megaphones, which are used in our villages, in our pillars. Then you must know how to pass on the information through which activity. Will it be sports? Will it be music and drama? And then also the activities, what resources are you giving in there? And then also, as an advocate, you must have the opportunities and know the rightful moments when to do things. In health advocacy, these dates must be known. You must know what is the World Cancer Day. You must know the World Breastfeeding Day. For example, the World HIV/AIDS Day is usually on the 1st of December every year, celebrated and commemorated by the world everywhere, including in our pillars. We celebrate it. So you must take advantage of these days. These are the days to advocate for HIV. These are the days to advocate for behavior change. These are the days that also, as an health advocate, your role is recognized. This is a day when you can make money as a health advocate by doing a campaign, by printing t-shirts, by printing caps, and also information which you can sell and get money. And you work with other actors in the system, and then they help you. Thank you so much for this.